The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. President Bongbong Marcos will be reaching out to former Senator Laila de Lima to check on her condition following a hostage attempt earlier this morning. President Marcos said he will ask de Lima if she wants to be transferred to another detention facility. The president has also directed Camp Crame to enforce all measures necessary to ensure that the incident does not happen again. 3 detainees at the PNP Custodial Center attempted to escape and take the former senator hostage. They were then shot dead by police. Now, one other police officer, meanwhile, is in critical condition after being stabbed by one of the detainees. De Lima has been detained inside Camp Crame for the last 5 years over drug charges. Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel is calling on the PNP to provide more information on the hostage attempt against former Senator Laila de Lima. Pimentel wants to know how the perpetrators were able to take de Lima as hostage when she is held in a separate area away from other inmates. He is now urging the National Police to give a detailed report on the incident. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The government is looking at the possibility of having blended learning extended beyond November. Marian Enriquez has the report.
Vice President and Education Chief Sara Duterte will mark her first 100 days in office. When asked about her greatest accomplishment so far, the Vice President said it's to have face-to-face classes back after more than 2 years under the pandemic.
Napakahalaga na nabalik natin ang option ang mag-conduct ng 5 days in-person classes. And meron tayong mga schools right now na ganun nga yung ginagawa nila dahil nakita din nila na mas napapadali ang pagtuturo nila.
The DepEd has allowed schools to hold limited in-person classes since August, and come November, schools will have to implement full face-to-face classes. But that may still change as talks are underway for the possible extension of blended learning. This is after the agency confirmed that COVID-19 infections have been recorded in some schools.
Meron kaming report na ginagawa ngayon para sa Pangulong Marcos at makapagdesisyon siya kung ano po yung ways forward natin with regard to the options na binibigay natin sa ating mga eskwelahan.
Despite this, the DepEd chief says the important thing is the country is now able to respond accordingly to any uptick in COVID cases.
Ang mahalaga lang sa pandemic is that we ensure that yung bakuna ay available para sa ating mga citizens. And pangalawa, yung gamot na Molnupiravir at Paxlovid. Pangatlo, yung ating critical care capacities ng ating mga hospitals ay hindi na overwhelm.
As for schools damaged by natural calamities, the agency said they continue to provide temporary learning spaces.
Nagpapatuloy naman po yung mga learning ng ating mga learners kasi kahit naman po na may kakulangan man sa infrastructure, nag-i-implement naman po tayo as per protocol ng alternative delivery modes.
The DepEd added that they are now finalizing a budget wish list for Congress. The department earlier vowed to realign funds in order to restore funding for special education programs or SPED. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
After almost 3 years of the coronavirus pandemic, New Zealand has scrapped most of their COVID restrictions, including mask and vaccine mandates. More details in this Bloomberg Quick Take.
Today, 927 days into this pandemic, we've reached a major milestone in our journey with COVID-19. Today, Cabinet has determined that based on public health advice, we are able to remove the traffic light system and with that decision, claim back the certainty we have all lost over the last 3 years. Cabinet has concluded that from midnight tonight, we will remove the COVID-19 protection framework, or the traffic light system, and make a number of other changes to our settings. First, you will no longer be required by government to wear a mask anywhere except in healthcare settings like hospitals, GPs, pharmacies and aged residential care facilities. Some places, such as workplaces, special events or marae, they may ask you to wear a mask. This will be at their discretion, but no longer a government requirement. All remaining vaccine mandates, also used by government, will also now end. The only current mandates were for health and disability workers, but with high vaccination rates now coupled with high numbers of people having had the virus itself, it's now safe for them to conclude. With the removal of the vaccination mandate, it will be at an employer's discretion as to whether to require their workforces to be vaccinated. We're also ending vaccination requirements for all travellers arriving into New Zealand, including aircrew. And the changes we've made today are significant. They mark a milestone in our response. This is the time when finally, rather than feeling that COVID dictates what happens to us, our lives and our future, we take control back as we continue to drive economic activity and our recovery. This will be the first summer in 3 years where there won't be the question of what if.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 1:13 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for free account now at www.signalplay.com. Stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.